Hello and welcome to another episode of Life Reimagined with your hostess, Frederica Hutchinson. Thank you. So good to see you guys on your journey, your life reimagined. So at Life Reimagined, this is the show where transformation begins. As I've stated, I'm Frederica Hutchinson, and each week we dive into real conversations about breaking free from toxic cycles, building confidence, and creating the life you truly desire. Okay, so last time we talked about stop staying in jobs that don't respect you, reclaim your worth. Yes, that's what we talked about. We just barely touched on it. And I just wanted to come back and continue that conversation with you guys. We were talking a little bit about fear, and but we didn't really get an opportunity to talk about what does fear look like. And I'll share this much with you guys. It looks different for all of us. The way your body responds, the way you respond to fear is going to be totally different. I shared in the last episode that my throat was starting to close, that I was starting to feel stressed and anxious in my body. I felt tired. Now that really scared me, the tired part, because I think I stated in previous episodes that I went through 10 years of clinical depression. And one of the things that I told myself as I came out of depression was I would never go through depression again. And so as I started to experience fatigue and started to get really tired, I knew the signs of depression, and I wanted to avoid them. And that was one of the reasons that I left my job, because I told myself I would never go back through depression. The other reason was, even beyond depression, my blood pressure was starting to get really high, and I couldn't control it. And just the thought of having to go back into that place was causing me stress and anxiety. So I realized at that point that my life was more important. I have children ages 8 to 26, and I was sharing with a coworker. I said I wanted to cry my last day. I wanted to cry because I loved what I did. I felt like it was a part of me. I felt like it was part of my calling. I was starting to see other people's lives being changed, and yet I couldn't stay, and it didn't make sense to me. I was like, if this is what I'm called to do, and I was placed in this position, am I just supposed to stay and bear it? And I know so many times, particularly people who are spiritual, or people who are of a particular religion, a lot of times we think this is what I'm supposed to do. But we're not supposed to just stay and be marginalized in situations. I do encourage people to pray to their creator. I personally consider myself to be a believer, but I can't tell you how you should feel. But I would say, seek your source. Go to your source and find out what you are supposed to do. And with that said, you all have a purpose. That's what I mean by seeking your source. When you were entered into this world, the Bible says in Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you. So if that is true, then that means that there's something, we all got a job to do. There's something that I am supposed to be great at, and I have to find that thing. And so that's what I've been searching for the last couple years. And I'm excited to say that I feel like I'm walking in my purpose. This is one of my purposes. I stated previously, I had a previous podcast called Win Women in Business, and I have felt a little naked without that podcast. I enjoy talking. I enjoy sharing. I enjoy giving resources to others. So that's what Win Women in Business did for me. And I believe that's what Life Reimagined is going to do for you guys. So this is a totally new, separate journey that I'm on, new podcast. I told someone today, I said, I'm new. Walking into new purposes, new businesses, new opportunities. And that's the thing about fear. Fear will have you stay on the other side where you never even try. You're too afraid to move. You're paralyzed. I recently did a little Facebook post, and I had this cute little possum. She was cute. She had a little lipstick on and had a little pink hair bow on. I mean, she was cute. She was cute. And but I don't know how many of you have ever seen a possum. They're not really cute. They're really not cute, but not only are they really not cute, they really do freeze. And so we've often heard the expression playing possum, but I don't know if we really understand what that means. And so many of us, we get stuck. We freeze. We're so afraid that we stop. So I remember one night, I woke up after hearing my dog barking. And my dog was hoarse, so my dog had been barking all night long. So much so that he could not even bark anymore. So when we went out, I think I got up first, and I went to the door, and I saw what looked like a huge rat. It was a possum. And so I ran back in the house. I got my husband, woke him up. He went outside, and sure enough, it was a possum. And this possum, now my dog is barking at it, but it cannot, I don't know if it cannot, but it did not move. It was frozen, it was stuck. And we laugh at possums, I know I did. And I thought to myself, how silly. If your life is in danger, get up and run. And guess what the possum did? It sat there. And then it was almost like the Holy Spirit shared with me, you didn't get up and run. You froze. You stopped. For 10 years, I did. For 10 years, I did not work, could not work full time. And so I'm sharing all that with you guys to say two things, I guess. One of them is sometimes we don't give ourselves enough grace and mercy. Those 10 years that I didn't work full time, I really felt like I couldn't. And let me explain, because I was that person that once felt like people who went through depression or anxiety, first of all, I thought it was fake. I was like, shoot, I get up every day and I go to work. Surely you can get up and go to work. What's wrong with you? You're just lazy. I'm telling you how I was thinking at that time. Now, it's easy to judge somebody when you're not going through it. Now, being on the flip side and on the other side of it, like I said earlier, fatigue. Fatigue is no joke. That's one of the signs of depression. And that's what I kind of wanted to go over with you guys. What are some of the signs of depression? So some warning signs of a toxic job is what I'm going to discuss for one moment. So constant stress. Are you experiencing constant stress? What does that look like? That means endless deadlines. It could look like not enough staff to fulfill all the duties and obligations that are going on. Constant stress can look like a lot of things. I want you to put in the comment, what does constant stress look like to you? What does constant stress look like to you? It could be an influx of participants or clients or whatever the situation might be on your job. So constant stress is going to look like a lot of things to us. It could be, you could be answering phone calls, and it could be one call after the next, after the next, after the next, and you don't even get a break. I think I heard someone say one time before that they can't even get a restroom break. They have to wait because they have to answer, they have to be on the calls. So what does constant stress look like to you? I'm going to pause for a moment while you guys think about that. And so we can both relax. We can look at the waterfall. We can smile. And we can just listen to nature. And I'm going to encourage you guys, because I really hope that you're watching this episode during your lunch break, that you are able to see something beautiful. I'm going to be quiet for a moment so you can actually hear the waterfall. So I'm just going to give you a moment of silence just to relax, just to enjoy. Because a lot of us are working in toxic work environments. A lot of us are working in stressful environments. A lot of us never get a moment of silence. So, okay, I'm going to give us about 15 to 20 seconds. I'm still here with you. I'm just going to close my eyes. And I'm going to do me some breath work. So, And I am not a professional breath person, by the way. I'm just gonna breathe in deeply. I'm gonna hold it, and then I'm gonna release. Okay, I am not an expert. Don't go saying Frederica taught me this. No, I didn't. I'm telling you what I'm gonna do for me. How about that? How about that? Okay, so I'm gonna close my eyes and relax. Doesn't that feel nice? I'm gonna try that again. I'm gonna breathe in. And I held it for a little while because I'm one of those people, I go. I wake up early. I tell people I'm a night owl and I'm an early bird. And so, and I love to work. I love to work. So I never really get an opportunity just to relax. And I have a funny feeling that if you're watching this, you're probably going through the same thing. You're always giving. You're the caregiver. You're the mother. You're the employee. You carry so many titles. You're the husband. You're the wife. You're the mother. You're the father. Whatever your role is right now, I'm just going to encourage you just to relax. Just to take a moment. Just to love on yourself. Take a moment just to appreciate yourself. I don't know what you've been through this week, but I know we all have a lot of responsibilities. We have car payments, we have house payments, and I'm not even going to name all the things that we have because I'm not trying to re-stress you out. We're trying to relax in this moment. So I want you to relax. I want you to relax and breathe in, hold it, and breathe out. And then I'm going to proceed. I do want to give a disclaimer. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not even a breathing expert. I don't even know what the terminology is. All I know is the last several years I've had to do a lot of work on me. And I'm going to share something with you guys. You may never have to watch another episode. I'm just kidding. Y'all better watch me. But this is what helped me. I was praying and I felt like I no longer knew what my purpose was. And so my prayer was, show me my purpose. And when I prayed that prayer, the answer that I got was interesting. The answer that I received was, the truth will set you free. I know some versions say the truth will make you free, whichever version you prefer to read, but the truth will set you free. And it was in my truth, in me looking at me, that I learned and I started to heal. So what is the truth? Is the truth that your job is stressing you out? Is the truth that you're overworked? Is the truth that you're depressed? Is the truth that you are stressed? What is your truth? So to begin this journey, I'm going to ask each one of you, what is your truth? What are you experiencing? So many times we listen to friends and family and coworkers, and we never stop to listen to ourselves. So I want to encourage you to listen to yourself, listen to your body. I know a lot of times in our society they say, you got to be crazy if you're over there talking to yourself. And I actually say, you got to be crazy if you're not. If you're not talking and asking yourself, if you don't know how you feel, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with that. So stop thinking that you can't have a conversation with yourself. Start writing down your thoughts. I always tell people, if I want a good conversation, I speak out loud to myself. Call me crazy. I think you crazy for not talking to yourself, because how will you know how you truly feel if you don't? So again, I am encouraging you today just to find your truth, to figure out how you feel, not how somebody else thinks you should feel, And that's one of the leading problems that I have discovered for myself is I was too busy worried about how others would perceive me, what others would think, that I stopped doing what I was supposed to do for me. And that's the other thing too, is I was so busy trying to make sure everybody else was okay, but who was watching out for me? So take care of yourself, okay? Take care of yourself. I just want to thank you guys again. This time is going by really, really fast. I'm enjoying each of my conversations with you guys. I cannot wait to talk to you the next time. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I have a little saying. I have an event called Heritage and Healing, and it's a workshop series that I do. And one of the things that we say as each woman introduces themselves is, I see you, I honor you, and you are becoming her. And so whether you are a man or a woman, I see you, I honor you, and you are becoming him or her. Thank you so much for joining me today for another episode of Life Reimagined. Can't wait to see you next time.